Hello,
Hi,
what's up?
the sky.
Oh yeah, now run it for us.
Okay, hello everyone. This is Mimi Nation, and I just finished saying a million and one things with Moa Me.
Check it out, check it out, check it out. Bye, enjoy.
Thank you.
Living in a fast paced world with over 8 billion people, it's very easy for you to be overlooked, undermined, trampled on, and pushed aside. And that is why this podcast is for you. It's for you to help you feel seen through every conversation. My name is Moami, and I'm really passionate about helping you feel seen. I really hope that every episode reminds you that you are truly one in a million. Enjoy.
Hi guys, welcome to another beautiful episode of the Million and One podcast. On today's episode, I'm joined with a very special guest, as all my guests have been. I'm super excited. If you can hear my voice, I've been blushing since because I've tried to get you on the pod for the longest time, and for some reason or another, you'll not be able to come. So you might as well just go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay, my cheeks are hurting. I've been smiling. I've been forcing myself to keep it in.
They are making you happy.
Yes, because it's been a while. We've been
Yes, it
planning for
has.
this, and I'm finally here doing
Clapping
a
for
million
you.
and one
Yeah,
things with
one
you.
guys are clapping. We are doing woo
Ooh,
woo woo.
I'm so excited to be here, Moa. Thank you so much for the privilege. This
It
is
is so
Mimi
much.
Nation. I think I've said who I am. That's all.
That's what. Hey, see, guys, she's lying to you. This
This
girl
is
is
Mimi
a jack
Nation.
of all trades,
This is Mimi
master.
Nation. That's all.
That's what do you do? Where did you graduate from? What are you doing? Like that cannot be all.
Okay, Moa, I didn't know I was going to like say all of that. I thought I would just say who I am and then we'll get going.
Uh, it's no ma. Sorry, let's pause here. Who are you? What is in that nation? Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. Okay. Hi everyone. This is Mimi Nation, and I own a brand where we produce art for your homes and for your offices. And our motto is "This is a country where art heals." Amongst other things I do, I'm a realtor for Rich Boss Realty Limited. Thank you.
Ha. Yeah, welcome. You did not tell us that you are many other things. You are into fashion, you are into crypto, you are into accountancy. In fact, Seth, that's going to be like one of the things we're going to talk about because
Amen.
one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on the pod was because I wanted us to discuss this whole thing. Because I know there's a whole thing of okay, this is what I told myself I want to do, and somewhere along the line you realize there's something else that you want to do, and there's a whole guilt of I should be consistent. How do I change? And I know you're someone who has worn so many hats. That's why I'm super excited to like
Oh,
have you on the pod and all of that. But before we delve into all of that, um, let me ask, how did it all? Excuse me, how did it all start?
okay. I think I would say that it started from my love for adventures. And I don't like not knowing something
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I should know. So when I'm ignorant of something, I want to learn it. And I just want to know more about it. And it kills me that I don't know it till I know it. And that's it basically. So that's where it started from. So for the art part, it started from me loving colors and loving pictures and fine faces, and I just want to know how to capture them, recreate them, and that has been my search since I was like 6. That's how far I can remember. But then there were many obstacles, and well, we are here today, and I'm grateful.
Wow. So that means you started art when you were 6 years old.
Yeah, like all those, the dribblings that children do, all of the dribblings and funny pictures and
Mm-hmm.
drawing of cups.
So were you like that child that because I was that kind of child. So there was one time I used watercolor to paint on the wall. I was feeling like one bad artist. I drew mountain, I drew bird, I was just painting river. It was later that it occurred to me that babe, we are living in a rented apartment.
Oh my
Before the
goodness.
landlady will come and the wall was cream colored. I was really scared.
Oh,
My mom came back from the shop that day. She just entered the room. She just saw it. I was expecting the whole "Talo shekini." She just looked at it and she was like, okay. And I think he just did something to my mind, like,
don't
all
do that.
right, yeah, like, okay,
Restriction.
okay, okay, okay. Do you get? So was it that you were always drawing, like you said, or you were playing with sand, or you were doing counter, or what was it like? Because
Okay,
I
so
know you paint.
yeah, I think every child has that creative part of them. I wouldn't exclude any. So when growing up, we all I think there's always this restriction, especially on this part of the planet in
Mm-hmm.
Nigeria or Africa. There's this restriction that comes with it. You have to be a doctor, you have to be this or that. That's
Yeah.
the society as at then considered most important, that will bring food to the table and pay your bills. But then some of these passions are so strong that you can't just stop the child. There's no how that the child will stop, no matter how. So I was that child, but I didn't paint walls.
Mm-hmm.
I was the one that would be drawing when the teacher is teaching, and I'll just start sketching their funny faces, or just sketching one of my classmates and passing notes and all of that. So that's what I did. But I was restricted as well. Don't But then I kept on. I used to use my feeding money to hide, to buy colors at the end.
Wow.
So
That's
those
that's that's
yeah.
cute. So you mentioned something, how that you like to capture moments and all of that. And the question that crossed my mind was, so why art? Why not photography? Because with photography you can, take pictures, edit it, and then everybody now is a storyteller. So you tell
Yeah.
stories through pictures, you get. Why not any other form of expression? Why painting? Why drawing? Why art?
Okay, so like I said before, I love adventure, and it doesn't mean I'm not into photography. It just means that it's not yet my time for me to go into
All
it like
right.
that, like that. But it's not as if I'm going to be fully invested in it as much as I am in art. I think some things in you are just more pronounced than the other. Like you said, you used to draw, but now you are no longer doing that. But that doesn't mean you are not an artistic person. I mean, you're still telling your story, you're still doing some artistic things that I know you do. You write poems and you sing. It's art. And you take pictures as well. I see your flowers, I see your
Oh
grasses,
my
which is
god, now
yeah,
you're
I
casting me to
see.
my audience.
So if you notice, I take pictures of the sky a lot. I take pictures in a very different way people do,
Mhm.
to document moments as well. So my process is different from yours. Yours is different from mine. I think that's basically, doesn't mean I'm not telling my story in other forms. It just means that art is the more dominant one.
That's really beautiful, because I even wanted to ask, because you mentioned that you have a brand called Mimi Nation. Of course, the obvious question would be, how did the name come about? But aside that, which you're going to answer, is what is your like personal brand about, and how do you use it to connect to your audience? Saying that it's a country where art heals, because I'm very curious.
Okay, thank you for that question. So um I was reading the Bible sometimes when I want to entertain myself. I'm
Wow.
sorry, it might be weird. When I'm not seeing a movie and I want to get other forms of entertainment, I listen. There's this audio Bible that it's
Mm-hmm.
as though they acted it, so I listen or I read. So I was listening to Moses one time, and then I heard that he sculpted a brazen serpent. And I was like, well, that's sculpture. And sculpture is a form of art. And he
Mm-hmm.
asked the children of Israel to look at it and they will leave. And I was like, whoa. And so I started paying, and that was, it's been years, I can't remember. That was like, I don't know. I can't remember which year exactly it was. I can't put a date. No, most people are good with dates, these dates. But
Yeah.
me, I just see things and I move and we are good. So I checked, I started looking at other arts that I see, and I just have this feeling in me, as if I should cry. It evokes a kind of emotion, if I should be happy or sad or moody. But most times I'm usually at this ecstatic moment where it feels like I don't know how to describe it, but it's so the euphoria, everything, the emotion is just there, full, and I'm like, wow. I think this can be equated to being healed, from looking at things. When you watch a movie, sometimes it makes you cry, sometimes it makes you laugh. It's the same thing as art as well. When you look at it, it evokes something in you. So I was like, well, my art should heal people when they see it, when they come back from their workplace on Monday like this, such as today. You
Wow.
come back from work and then you're tired from the day's activity, fuel price have hiked up. Your environment makes you more relaxed. That's why it's called your home. And if you go to a babalawo place, according to how we call it in Nigeria, chief priests, if you go to his place, you see red things,
Knowledge.
cider. The place, how it's decorated, makes you know that this is really for the spiritual rubbish that they are doing there. But it gives you sorry that I used that example. Maybe I should have used a bank. but then but then the environment makes you just know that, okay, this is you compose yourself to fit the environment, right? It's not because of anything, it's because of the aesthetic, the paintings there, the whatever it is that is there that will make you know that, okay, this is home or this is a marketplace. So mine is that your home should also be part of what will heal you and tell you this is home. This is where I should relax. So paintings also help to decorate and beautify the environment and make you relax. So yeah. Did I talk
It,
too much?
no, come on. It
That's
feels
it.
like you just described, all these fictional movies where when you come home, you just see one painting on the wall and the thing just saps you in. And it's really beautiful because you mentioned that you listen to Moses. So, of course, you have a whole thing going on with God.
Yeah.
And the question will now be, what part does your faith play in your art and your life as a whole? Because, of course, we see people who worship certain things and then you can't help but separate them from the things they produce. So
Yeah.
you say that it heals and all of that. So just to highlight specifically, what part does your faith play in your art?
Well, I think my faith plays a huge part, obviously, because I can't separate it. It's there anywhere I go. Because the truth of the matter is, I've tried doing it without my feet many times. Right? I've tried running on my own because I was raised an independent human being. So I have tried doing plenty things by myself on my own, and my fuel finished. It did not just raise
I
to
can
500
relate.
naira. I finished.
They
So
even have to come and help you push the car safe.
you get.
Mm-hmm.
So I just told myself, look, you can't. So that's it. That's all I can say. It plays a huge part, and I don't think. And it's sweet. It's sweet because by the time I'm done producing whatever I create, people are like, wow, how did you think of that? And that makes me happy. So yeah.
So, quick question: have you ever had any dream that you wake up and you paint the thing, or you just have like these mini visions? Because I've seen your paintings and they are very strange. So it's like you're mixing Edo
Yeah.
Bini vibe with AI, and I'm seeing something. I was like, maybe what's happening?
Okay, so the truth of the matter is that I've never painted anything I've dreamt of.
Okay.
So by the time I start painting what I dream of, I think this world will be scared. But
But then, how then
yeah.
do you get your inspiration for what you paint?
So it's stories from the Bible, basically.
Oh,
Yes. So for now, it's just story from the Bible or what I hear the man of God saying. Like on Sundays when I like yesterday now, when I go to church, other people are hearing things. I'm hearing inspiration, for goodness sake. Why?
do you know? Funny enough, that thing happens to me too. I feel like I'm most productive in church, unlike in a gathering of believers. People are writing, they are doing. I just bring out my phone and I start typing content ideas like this captions. The thing is just expanding, and I'm like, sometimes I'm like, am I an unserious Christian? Am I not supposed to be? What's happening? What's happening?
Well,
So I
I
can
think
totally relate.
yeah, yes, true. Well, I'm glad you can relate.
Ah.
But I think I had asked that question right, and I think I got an answer. The answer is that in him I live, in him I move, and I have my being. So he's the one that is making those ideas coming out, and it's in his presence, and they are pure. So in the end, it's all for God. By him I mean God. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, to the
All right.
glory of Jesus. That's it.
That's so beautiful. Like this whole conversation is already going, is already beginning to spark up some things in me. And like I said, one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on the pod was because wearing so many hats and then moving from what looks like two distinct fields and then the courage to just move and all of that. And you seem like a very, very, is it dauntless? Sorry that I don't be
Hmm.
scared. Like you can just wake up. I will not be surprised if tomorrow you wake up and you tell me that it's football you want to be playing. I was like, oh, okay.
My dear, you are very, very prophetic.
Please don't tell me it's football you want to be playing.
No, 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 not me. My children. It's
So
a
you see,
secret.
and I'm like, how did you? Because I know. Let me even ask this question. What did you study in school?
Okay. I studied accounting in Ahmadu Bello University.
Very good. God bless you. How did you move from in school? Were you always doing many things? Because you know how our educational system teaches you to just
Yeah.
focus on one thing.
Focus.
And even the one thing itself is that they want you to do it in a particular way. Don't be creative with your solutions. Don't be creative with your
Yeah.
ideas. And
Crown
then
and pour.
do you get? Don't even try to explain what it is I taught you in another way. Just give me what is in your textbook
Yeah. Okay.
and all of
So.
yeah.
Yes,
So
thank you. So, thank you for the question. I think I love all the questions you have been asking because
are you
it's making me want to talk.
best in podcast?
Okay, so right. I have not been the one to follow everything society does. I think I've been a bit rebellious. Not that I don't like keeping to the law. In fact, I've been one conscious person that I don't want to break the rules. I want to do everything by the books.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been that child. But then sometimes I feel like some things are not right. We shouldn't, can't we just do it in another way and still get the same results? you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I've not really been the one that will give you everything you put. But then to survive ABU, I had to do that after having a carryover in my 100 level. And it
Wow.
was me trying to express myself and, be creative in my questions, my answers, I mean. So I got a carryover and I failed woefully. I had I'm not the one that will tell you I carried first.
Mm.
I finally carried first position. No, I failed in my 100 level woefully. And I'm not the type that loved reading all these our academic books like that because they were not creative in their explanation. So I found it very
Honestly,
boring and tiring. So it was tiring to me. So the question is, what's the question again? I think I read off at some point. Okay, was I this always this creative? Yeah, I think I have been, but I did some few things in school, just a few, just a few. I only joined the drama unit of the students fellowship, and then I used to go for exhibitions too in Samaru. That's it. That's the only two things I did. I didn't do much.
but then okay. So from what you said now, you've always been a creative person. So it was quite easy for you to just move into the creative space when you finished accountancy. Is that what it's called?
Yes, yes,
Yeah, so you're
accountant.
like, okay, maybe,
Yes.
and because you're always someone that did not really like being in a box, do you get? You're like, okay,
Yes.
it was very easy for you to rebel. But for someone else who fear itself will not even let them think of something else, how can you? Because like I said, one of the things you feel is that okay, I've been consistent, I've put so much energy into this thing, I've spent
Mm.
X amount of years, I've written. If you didn't even enter school, like immediately you finish secondary school, you struggle to get into the university. Now you're in university, you spend maybe 3-4 years and then you just have that this is not for me moment. I should be in the creative space. I should be
Yeah.
doing. So how then do you carry yourself and turn, do you get, from that path to something? And then also knowing the fact that the future, in quotes, you don't know what's at the other end. So
Yes.
how then do you just make that migration?
Well, it was a lot. It took a lot of processes and feeling and trying again and again and asking questions and crying.
Very
So,
important.
so there was a time where I was at that fix, and I didn't know what to do. That's the truth. I didn't always know what to do, but then I think God. I'm going to be mentioning God a lot. God, because I know there are other people that do not believe in Him that will be listening to the podcast, but they believe in other things. So, well, sorry, but not sorry. Okay, so God aligns our part, right? When He sees the sincerity of your heart and sees that this girl cannot help herself, let's come in. And He aligned a lot of things in my favor. So, after finishing university, while I was doing the accounting, like I said, I used to draw in classes when the class gets boring to keep me going, keep me moving, keep me sane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I was still doing my art as much as I could underground, but it wasn't commercial then. I didn't have the confidence to sell anything. I was just there to grow myself and learn. So when I was done, there's a certain man called Hiko Akeboma, and he mentioned one day at church that he's opening a creative studio for any creative person to come and join in. And I knew very well that it was about graphic design, but I was like, he said creative, so let's all go. And he
Mm-hmm.
mentioned artist, so let's go. When we get there, we'll know what he's about. And then when I got there, I was blown away, and it encouraged me to go further into it. It was not looking juicy, like money was always flowing in, but then it was something I loved. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to do this. I was going to work in a bank, but I refused all offer. And I was not earning shingbai. I was not earning anything. Yet I just knew it wasn't what I wanted to do. I wanted to do something that will allow me still do my art. I think it's a thing of knowing, right? When you just realize that this is what you want to do, you face the fears. There's always the uncertainty, but God helps.
Wow.
Thank
So did
you.
you at any point feel like you were deceiving people? Because there are people who have envisaged that you'll be a banker. They probably placed you on one corporate ladder to recruit people who have probably been with you in school all these years. Like,
Yeah.
you will feel betrayed. Like, how can you just, there's the whole, and I love Nigeria for that. There's a whole communal living, communal everything. But
Yes.
sometimes it's like,
Okay.
but this is not what I want to do.
Yes,
You
I
get.
get. I get. I think I disappointed a lot of people, especially people that helped me,
Especially
look
pay
for.
school fees.
Yes.
Ah, hmm, hmm.
Yes, it was a whole lot. It was a whole lot of disappointment. In fact, till date.
Wow.
Disappointment. Like,
So how did you handle that?
I've been stubborn. That's the only way I can say it. I've been stubborn, and God touched people's hearts. Those people that were paying the school fees.
Mm-hmm.
When I was done, they were like, "So, are you coming back, or should we just expect you to continue to follow your dream?" In quotes, which we all know. And I
Mm-hmm.
was surprised because that was them finally accepting that this girl, we just have to leave her like that. And I would finally mention it was one of them was my dad.
Oh wow.
One day I was in Lagos and he took me to Idumota Market and got me paints. And I was like, wow, okay. I wrote him a love letter that day because I never expected it. I did. I literally wrote a love letter, folded it, put an envelope, and gave it to him the next day. I was
That's so
impressed.
cute.
Yeah. So that's what I was talking about when I said God aligning things for you. When He has seen that, okay, this part, oh, this is it. He aligns every other thing. So the non-supporters and people that are disappointed, they get to see that, okay, let's just encourage her in this part that she has chosen to die in.
But like passion aside, you know that it's a God thing. Do you get?
Yeah.
It's not just, oh my God, I feel like doing this. I
No.
want to create. Do you get?
No,
Because
it's not.
people, some people might hear this and feel like, oh, that thing I feel like doing. Let me just wake up. Because I'm very sure there are many other things that you want to do that
Yes.
you have not had the let me say permission to do. Do you
Exactly.
get? So
So,
aside the whole, oh, this is what I feel like I'm inclined to do, is also waiting for the right time. Because imagine if you started at the wrong time, it would have been extremely disastrous.
disaster.
Very, very, very disastrous. And also,
True.
I want to say it's never too late
Mm-mm.
to
Yeah.
go in the path that you think you're meant to,
At
because you feel
all.
like you've invested a lot. Like, I'm in my 300 level. I struggle to enter
Yeah.
school. I just finished my I want to go myself. Now I'm married. I have children. Now I'm about
Children.
to marry. Like, it will just keep extending and extending. So just,
Yeah.
you say, just stand up and just turn.
True.
Just
True.
turn. Sometimes it's as bad. Don't even try to explain to anybody,
Yes.
except for the people that,
Just
of
keep
course, they are
moving.
maybe submitted to. Do you get who?
Exactly. Yeah.
But sometimes that whole explanation, before you go and explain to this person, you explain, before the passion in your heart self, they will even add
Dies
fear
down.
to it. But sometimes just wake up, pack your things, and just turn 360 degree and start heading towards. Honestly, because if not, like, you'll just be stuck on opinions. And yeah.
Truly. Truly. It couldn't be true at what you just said. I really agree. It's a lot. It sounds
But
simple, but it's the
yes, but
truth
it's
and
it's
it's
a
a
lot.
lot.
It's a lot. Yeah, and if you do not want to, like, live a life of regrets, because the truth is that the fact that it's always disturbing you means it's important, because you can just say, what consequences this thing I want to do, but it keeps you up at night. When all is
Yeah.
said and done, when all the paparazzi, when everybody goes, you still think about that thing. So it's actually important. It's not something to, like, be ignored. And think of the ripple effect, because sometimes we think we are just doing things for ourselves. We
No,
don't realize
no.
the ripple effect, the effect of what it is we want to embark on. Of course, nobody will be there with you to take that lonely path, because you have to learn, unlearn, and relearn a lot of things. Nobody will
That's
be,
very true.
even maybe even a few people at best, a handful, will just be there to say, okay, take this money, learn this, take this course, do this one. That lonely part, you still have to take it by yourself. But
Yes.
then
Yes.
the ripple effect, the result of it is always worth it. Do you get?
Just like your podcast.
That's
But no,
just
but truly, I would
that's
like to say
just
something
to say.
about that. That
Okay.
yes. So when you were saying that the ripple effect, and you think you are doing it for yourself, I just it just reminded me of when I started seeing your podcast. I was like, oh, okay, fine, nice. But then I saw it again, and I saw it again, and then again. I was like, okay, this is consistency. I do not have this much consistency. I would have given up by
Hey,
now.
God, please just get this thing outside. You are my organ.
No, no, no. So it's really encouraging, right, to see that much consistency. Because sometimes when I don't say, I'm like, sometimes I might not send you a message like, how far, why are you not doing it? But I'm watching. People are watching. It's not for you alone. So for me now, it has told me be more consistent in your work, right? So you might be doing that. Okay, I just want to own a podcast. I know that's not your reason, right? But some people, it might be their reason, but then the ripple effect is that it's impacting the society. It's helping people become better versions of themselves. So yeah, it's true what you
Thank,
said. Thank
thank
you.
you so much. The
Thank
podcast is
you.
grateful. I'm very grateful, man. I'm feeling down. I feel. Thank you so much. That's like a moment for me. Yeesh. Okay.
No, blush again like the beginning.
Yeah, but then, okay, so I know that there are people that do not have any knowledge on art. I know we are talking about art a lot, but there are many other things that you do, and we'll get into it. But this is just like, I want to ask for like a tip. So if I want to buy a piece of art now, what are the things I'm supposed to look out for?
Okay. First of all, your personality. Because when I do art for people, I study them. I don't just paint you. So, or I don't do, well, most recently I don't really do portraits again as much as I used to, but that doesn't mean I won't.
Mm-hmm.
But then if it's something abstract, or something to just beautify your environment. I study you as a person, your personality, and what I feel will always give you hope when you look at the wall. Like recently, someone asked me to make an art for him, and I asked him, "What do you want?" And he was like, he doesn't have an idea. He just wants a piece of art and so size. So I think what the person should look out for is their personality. What do you think would always give you hope? For example, recently someone asked me a question of what gives me hope or what keeps me moving when I feel like throwing in the towel and saying, you know what, I'm not doing it again. I'm tired. And those are the questions one should ask themselves, before buying an art space. Secondly, it's very core, right? Secondly, you should also know if it is original art or it's prints. They are two different things. Some,
Okay.
prints are, if it's like a photocopy of an original painting, you cannot resell that one in the market. Nobody is going to buy it for you, especially if they are art educated. But you can resell an original painting that is made with acrylic or oil or pencil on any surface. By any surface, I mean even wood
Oh.
and clay. Yes, art is beyond the paper and canvas thing that we all project. So it can be anything at all. It can be a pot of a clay pot. Yes, it can be anything. But then I think in as much as you are looking out for all of that, there's a better way to still know it. Consulting an artist or going to Google, because some artists will charge you for consulting them.
That's true,
Except
sir.
me. For now, I
Really?
won't charge you. If you are coming
So you
through
see,
Moa,
guys, come and buy from her.
if you are
Through use
coming
my
through
code.
Moa.
Me, that's my code.
Yeah, so basically that's what to look out for. First, know what it is that really speaks to you as a person, because that's important, not just to beautify your environment. Then secondly, what it is made of, because I'm all for business. You can resell your art. Don't buy something that you know that you will not resell in the future. Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh. I didn't know. So you see, guys, if you want to buy art, these three things are very important. And I really and I know you didn't the knowledge didn't fall on your legs, because you said it wasn't necessarily something that you studied in school, but then just getting to paint and even the business side. Let me even ask you. This supposed to be an off camera, but it's an on camera question. Would you have a class? I'm
Off mic.
suggesting to you. I'm suggesting to you in front of everybody. Would you have a class for artists, like to teach them the business side of things? Because I see how you market. You are doing
Yes.
NFTs, you are doing painting, you are doing shirts. Like the art can be on the clothes. Do you guess? And honestly,
Yes.
I'm not even lying. I don't think I've ever seen any other artist that used to do that kind of thing. I'm like, must be nice. Even for
Yes.
mugs and all of that. I'm like,
Yeah.
you've obviously spent a lot of time getting this knowledge, and go bad if you go teach other people.
Truly, thank you for that.
So
I
you
have
see?
thought of it, and it has its market, right?
Okay.
Because sometimes artists just want to keep creating and creating because that's what we love. But then you need to buy colors to paint, you need to buy materials. And if you are buying and not getting money to buy, that's where they start saying artists are broke people, which is a lie. There's billions and trillions in art. Let me
It's
not lie.
just positioning.
So yes, it's position, it's connection, it's a whole lot. And then I won't say I knew it by myself just like that. It's influence. I've had the best of friends, right, that are business minded. God saved me by putting me in their hands and them in mine. So they encouraged me a lot to check out the business part of it. Like the first art I sold was because of my friend that she said you could sell this, and I was not confident. So from then it sparked this thing in me, and then the thought of never wanting to lack paint also pushed me to say, okay, how can I get more funds to, first of all, it was selfish because I wanted to get more materials for my art. Then I said, okay, people that haven't eaten anything, if you never chop, na person wey chop dey buy art put for house, no be for everybody. So I said, okay, people love beautiful things. They could love to wear it. They could love to put it on. And then, yeah, I thought of putting it in other materials as well. So, yeah, I would love to share the business side of it with people. But then it's not a time for me. Like you said, there's timing.
So if it's time, will you let us
Thank
know?
you. Sure, I will.
Okay. All right then. That's a
Thank
promise.
you.
We have a promise from you.
Okay.
Very quickly, because like you said, the whole business side and everything. I would want to ask, because me, I'm not lying, I just used to see paintings, admire them, and you know how art means different things to different people. So I can just take my glass of champagne and just go to one art gallery and just stand up and say, and when they ask me what does it mean, I'll just say one thing. Do you get? But for someone who really, really wants to get into art,
Yeah, I
not
get.
just art, you mentioned that you do real estate, and I know you did fashion at some point in time. What are some of the resources, say, for example, podcasts, books, courses that they could, you know, go through, read, listen to, that would at least elevate them from novice to at least amateur? Do you get?
Yeah. Okay, so we do not have much of that, but on YouTube there's a lot of that actually. We don't have much of the podcast, but for the podcasts, I would say is what artists listen to. So I don't know if an average person wants to listen to that, but then it's
No, I'm
Matt
asking for
Tommy
people who are
podcast.
into like arts, who want to like up their
Oh,
game.
for people who are into art.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
okay. Please listen to Matt Tommy. He's one of my mentors in art. And then go on Twitter spaces that talk about art. There's always space meetings every day that talk about art and NFT, most importantly. And to be honest, there's gold to be dug. So
Really?
go and dig the gold. Yeah, you can listen to and then also watch YouTube videos. That's where you can find them more. I think artists are we can hide things a lot, and there's this mystery behind it. Like it's not for everyone. It's a lie. You can, right? You can access the knowledge, and there are some books on PDF drive. Once you just type art, you see books out. I can't remember all the authors or all the titles, but then once you go to PDF drive, that's where I get books. Some are on Amazon, but some people don't want to go and buy now. But then you have to spend on what you really want to get, right?
Yeah.
I've spent money getting books and some I've not read. That's the truth. But
Mm.
then I'm guilty of that. But then you need to spend money on what you want to do and know more. So yeah, that's basically where they can get this
There's
knowledge.
something you said that piqued my attention. You see that NFT gone, gone, gone. I've tried to
Yes.
understand it. I know it means non-fungible token, but then how how
Yeah.
how does it even work? Because like you said, there's a lot of money in it, and then I see people come up with monkey picture and they're selling for thousands of
Yeah.
dollars. They come up with leg with one finger, and I'm like, what is happening? So please do
What is
NFT for
going
dummies
on?
for me and my podcast listeners, because we are so lost.
It's just for you. It's because of you.
Oh, thanks a lot, ma. Thanks a lot.
Okay. Thank you too for asking. So basically, there's something I read on Twitter. Explain it to me as if I'm a 4-year-old. So I'm
Okay.
going to do that for you. So it's not hard. And then what you are saying that people are saying that looks like monkey and all of they call it.
Hello.
Is that expensive? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so is that expensive because they've built a community over time, a community of collectors? First of all, you need a collector that is willing to spend plenty
Mm-hmm.
money on what he believes is art to him. So in the art world, is a bit different from our normal market of going to buy books, tomatoes, and rice, because it's just different. That's how I can put it, right? So it's just like people going underwater, right? I'm sorry to use the example. I know it was a tragic moment, but then people found joy going there, and people find joy going to the moon is because of the adventurous spirit in them and wanting to explore plenty things that they are ignorant about. I think art has that in itself as well. So when people see some apes, they are like, oh, this is what I love, this is what I like to see, this is what I like to buy and spend much money as I can on it, and I don't care, but business people are not as well foolish. They are not foolish. So they also do that for investment purposes to resell. So in NFT, there's what you call secondary market, where you can actually resell what you got. So those apes and monkeys that people are selling, sometimes it's also like a noise around it so that people will get to come around and see what's happening. It's a whole lot, really.
Okay.
But then it's really, in the end, what you put importance on and say, okay, I'm willing to spend money on so thing that I find interesting, that I find interesting rather. It's not one magic. It's not that hard really. And is in the arts, in the NFT art, is whatever you call art, whatever you call art, whatever you call art, and
So
it's
if
not
I
so
do
hard.
peace out and I snap it and I call it art, that's it.
Yeah, so far you see
I
somebody
can
that
snap
can
my
buy it
teeth.
from you. So far you see somebody that can buy it from you. So it comes like you have to do it like a collection, because there's a business part of it. You have to do it like a collection. Like maybe you say you want to document your teeth for the next 7 days, and then you give a story behind it. Say, this is how human ages in a period of 7 days, something hours, and then give one story, hype it, just give a good storyline. Use GTP. Give a good storyline around the teeth and how it affects human society and all of that. Give it one connection like that. It might sound stupid, which most times it is. And whoever can buy it will buy it. But then it needs to do a lot of marketing. That's what people don't know. There's a competitive marketing behind NFT sales, right? There's a lot of marketing. People just think it's you just post and then that's all. There's a lot of marketing. Speaking on Twitter Spaces, I have spoken on Twitter Spaces for 8 hours straight. 8 hours, not speak, like listening and speaking, going off and coming back, going 8 hours straight, and I did not make a sale, just to get my art to be recognized. So it takes a lot of time and effort and data, especially in this part of the country. So
Wow.
yeah.
I know, like you are like an onion, a multi-layered person. Today we just focused on your art. The next time you're coming as a realtor. I mean, real, what they call it?
A realtor.
A realtor. The next time you come as a
Yeah,
fashion
realtor.
person. You like
Yes.
it's just really, 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 and I just want to say I love you. You're just so kind. I used to blush, every time I hear you speak. I'm blushing. I'm having a moment.
Me too.
But really, it's
Thank you
this
so much.
conversation has been very full. Like, we touched on
Wow.
literally everything, and I promise you're going to come back. I'm going to come back and give us
Wow.
different
I'm actually
dimensions,
honored.
different
I'm honored.
dimensions. Honestly, because you gave us like the whole tea. So we have this segment. Well, I'm trying it with you for the first time, Sha. Where we'll have our
Wow.
guests say a song, a book, and a movie that they
Oh my
currently like watched or listened to, or that they currently love, or they are currently reading. Do you get? So
god.
here it goes. Brrr. Go on. We're listening to you.
Yeah.
Book, song, and movie that you're currently
Okay.
on or you currently love.
Oh wow. Thank you for trying it first with me. I like being the first. It is.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay. Thank you. So the book is the Business Secrets from the Bible. It's very rich. Forget that it's sounding religious. It's very, very rich. It's from the Jewish life and how they pattern
Really?
their business. Yes, and how that anywhere they go, they dominate. And if you look at all these global businesses in the society, most of them are owned by Jewish people, and they have not gone down for years. So I'm studying them because I don't want my nation to go down for years.
Amen.
So it's yes, It's by David Lappin. I'm going to send you details so that you can add it to your link. And then
You see,
secondly, the movie.
best podcast in the world.
Yeah, thank you.
Freebies here and there. Thank you so much. Sorry, I'm listening
Are
to
you
you.
right? Thank you too. It's okay. So the movie that I'm watching currently is Billions. It's a series. I prefer series. So that while I'm painting, I'm watching. I don't know how I do that, but it's interesting
But
to
you
me.
used to
So
paint and read and listen to scripture in the middle of the night around 2. Is there?
yeah, it's sweet.
Hey.
It's actually very sweet. I don't know
I'll
how
just see
it
one
is,
video.
but
I
it's
just painting. I'm
beautiful.
just hearing songs of Solomon. For her neck is like the palm tree. Her leg is like. I'm like, what is movie doing at this ungodly hour? And you still go to work. How do you? Let's finish with this
Yeah.
segment and I'll
This
ask you how you're mixing everything together.
okay, so that the movie is billions,
Okay.
and what else? Song.
Mm-hmm.
We know T.Y. Bello, and she has
Ah,
my heart for this season. I don't know where it's going to end. That's it. The
okay.
end.
So let me tell you my own. It's do me idea. So the book I'm currently reading is Hooked. It's called Hooked by
Wow.
Ner. Yeah, I really hope I'm pronouncing it well. But it was sent to me by one of the listeners from the podcast. Big shout out to Emmanuel.
Oh,
Thank you so much. Thank
thank
you.
you, Emmanuel.
I'm Kuku reading the book. It's actually on how to build habit forming products.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
After this one, next one I'm going to read is Indistractable because
Wow.
I need to be
Focus.
indistractable. I need to be focused. Focused. Do you get? But the movie I just finished watching is Sister. Ha, that
Mm, mm,
movie
mm,
that
mm.
movie had me in my feelings. I don't know if it's because the woman that acted it, she was gesticulating like my mother, she had opposite like my mother, or it was the story, everything was me that from hard girl. I just
Wow.
shed a tear or two. Just a tear or
Oh,
two. You get.
I think I need to see it.
Honestly, you do. It's a very great movie. Big shout out to Nollywood. They are making us proud.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
they really are. And the song I'm listening to, it happens to be from T.Y. Bello's album, For Life.
Yes.
It's as if the thing just washed over me like,
For life.
but the God song, you tell her, I've heard this song before, but how is it doing me?
This
Genius.
anointing you have given me.
Come on now.
It's for
Sure you
life.
not, are you sure that you not start singing?
No, no, no.
But really, this conversation was wholesome. Like a
Yeah.
very full meal. You know those kind of pancakes that they're just satisfying. That's what
Yeah.
this episode feels like. I'm really, really, really grateful. I know we couldn't like get to talk about many other aspects, but like I said, we'll have you on the podcast sooner or later. So
Whenever
any
it is,
of
I'll be
course.
happy to, and I'll be honored to come.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, ma. Any last words of wisdom for us?
That's words of wisdom.
Yeah, now.
Do I have any? Okay. It's basically what I'm living by currently.
Okay.
It's just one word: live.
Hmm.
The
Hmm.
end.
I'll snapping my fingers. I'll definitely write that down and think about it. Think about it.
Think.
This episode has been nothing short of fun. Where can listeners find you? Where can we find your art? Where can we find you as a person? I know you said you work in a real estate this thing, but
Yes.
where can we find you on the internet space?
Okay. On social media.
Or yeah, on social media.
Okay, you can find me at Mimi Nation underscore 22 on Twitter, on Mimi Nation, on Mimi underscore Nation on Instagram, and Mimi Nation on Facebook, and my WhatsApp. Thank you.
WhatsApp is for friends and family please. Don't want the whole world to be getting your exclusive content.
No,
Thanks a lot. We don't
thank
want
you.
the whole world. But really, like, share, comment, guys, share to your friends. You can't be enjoying this thing alone, do you get?
Yes, yes, please.
And
It has
also,
blessed me a lot, and please, you guys need to hear what she's doing. It's a lot. It's great, and it's going
thank
far.
you. Thank
I can't
you.
wait for
Amen.
it to be hosting the likes of um who now I wanted to mention a name, but I think I'll just mention Trump.
It will be absolutely hilarious.
I want to listen to that man talk on Nigerian soil, like he has
It
to
will
fly
be
in.
hilarious.
Or you fly out, whichever way, but I want to hear him on your podcast.
Amen. Oh, amen. Oh, soon and very soon. Yeah, but really, my heart is full. I don't want to let you go.
Me
But I
too,
can't wait
but
to
we'll continue
say.
later.
Yes, we will. Like I said, like, share all the good stuff, and see you in the next episode.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.